G'day, Bomber fans. So this isn't really something that would usually require a video. The future draft class training at AFL clubs, it happens every year. The AFL Academy sends out promising players and gives them a chance to spend a week training with an AFL side. It happens across the league, not just Essendon doing it. But because we enter the 2025 season with 2 first-round draft picks from 2 clubs many believe to be missing finals, and also I guess the possibility of a third if Sam Draper was to leave, I feel like it's something worth mentioning. And also, when you go back and see that one of our new recruits from 2024 was doing this same thing last year, training with Essendon through the AFL Academy, it shows that there is potential of a link with recruitment from this method, maybe. But yeah, let's talk about it. So as I said, every year, members of the AFL Academy, the most promising soon-to-be draftees, they get access to an AFL club for a week to train, to learn from the players, from the staff. So last year you had guys like Sid Draper, Levi Ashcroft, Josh Schmeinley, Finn O'Sullivan, the best of the best. They were all training at different clubs across the league. Last year we actually hosted Job Shanahan, a player you all really wanted us to pick up, and also Archer Day Wicks, a player we did pick up in the rookie draft, and that just shows how highly rated he was at the start of the year, someone we got in the rookie draft. This isn't like Academy or father-son stuff. These aren't players we're linked to. We're giving little trials to players that can be taken by any club in the open market. And this year we have Cooper Duff-Tytler in at the Hangar, an early top 5 pick contender, which is likely where we will have at least one pick in the draft, you would think, at least one. He is also a player that we can't really say no to bringing in if available. He's a 200cm ruck or forward, really strong already. Some of the photos you see on screen taken by the awesome Charlie Dons shows his just pure muscle, I guess. He's super built for a 17-year-old. Think back to other early draftees or key position draftees with proper talent. They don't usually look this well put together. Maybe Jed Walters, the last one I can think of. But Duff-Tytler is taller. He's that ruck forward that you can almost build a team around if they meet their potential. It's not like a Kale Jarine who you take in the mid-second round and kind of build into a player with time. This looks like someone who can be really effective early into their career, I reckon. That's just my opinion. It's still very early, but yeah, he is training with the club this week, giving us a cheeky little early scouting report for him. Rosa will be watching pretty closely. He will have the notepads out and get that inside info on him. And if we do get this little head start, it could be a reason to draft. This could be the difference between other clubs rating him at pick 10 and us maybe rating him a tad higher. You never know. So although this doesn't mean a lot now, it's just part of the AFL, it could be something we look back on after the draft and talk about as a little bonus. You never know. So I do think this is something to note. It's a little narrative for the season. And also, before I get on to the next topic, something I thought I should talk about or mention. So yes, we did just draft Kale Jarine. I know people are going to talk about that, and I guess the needs basis for Duff-Tytler. They're almost the exact same position and role, kind of that ruck forward power player. But we do also have 4 out-of-contract rucks at the end of the year. In fact, excluding Jarine, every ruck on our list is out of contract, and it would be an absolute miracle if all signed on. Goldstein's going to retire, let's be real. Draper is a restricted free agent. The Crows want him bad. We can't say with Chess that he is 100% staying. I'm sure clubs will try and pry Nick Bryan away if he's left in the VFL at any stage, and Vigo Vicentini is still a rookie who needs to prove himself every year with these one-year deals. So although we don't need that style of tall now for 2025, it could be something that we can bolster at the end of the year with some players leaving in the draft with Duff-Tytler. And if that is the case, we will likely have 2 early picks to use, and Duff-Tytler could be that option. But again, very early. He could also slide like Day Wicks did last year. Lots of footy to be played for these junior players this year. I'll give you draft info every few weeks, I reckon, this year, just for those who are keen on it like me. Alright, onto an academy player who won't be available in the open market. This is actually someone in our next generation academy who has been training with the club. Hussien El-Achkar, a teammate of Isaac Hacko and Jaden Ewan. He's in our NGA, same as those boys, so we can take him with any pick in the draft in 2025. He's going to be playing champs footy for Vic Metro, I reckon, so he is far from a spud. This is definitely a player in draft contention. He's actually quite similar to Isaac Hacko. He's another small, lively, creative forward. He's actually smaller than Hacko, 171 centimetres when last measured, so really small for the AFL. That's not much taller than Nick Watson at all, but he's very talented. He kicked 19 goals from 15 games as a 16-year-old in the Talent League last year, including one game where he kicked 5 goals. Now, he isn't as hyped as Kako right now. If I had to gauge, I'd say late drafting, mid to late. But again, still so early. The draft order can change. It changes so much with senior draft level campaigns, so that could change. He could rise, he could fall. But we are luckily in a position where we have this talented small forward as an option to bring in for free pretty much if we want him. If he increases in value, it puts lots of pressure on some of our existing small forwards. Imagine if he becomes a top 30 option in the draft and Davey or Menzies underperforming. They're both out of contract. So hopefully for us, this young player shows promise this year, trains hard with us, uses this experience for good to better himself as a player and put some solid competition on our existing small forwards. I don't think he will be a top tier talent. Again, if I had to guess, it would be well beyond second round. That's the earlier eye test, but it gives us a good option to fall back on if we need. That's the beauty of the academy, and it's why development is so important at this age and this stage of a career. Yes, you get access to talented young players, but it's also on the club to grow them into an actual AFL footballer. That's the fun of it. Alright, before we go, let's just talk about the other draftees training with other clubs. You've got a couple of young SA boys at Adelaide. You've got Dyson Sharp and Matt Leray. Hawthorn have Willem Dersma, who is someone a lot of us want to match up the Dersmas. They are also friends with Harley Reid, remember? So Dersma plays with Hawthorn's affiliate club, which is, by the way, why Duff-Tytler is with us, because he'll be with our sister club, the Corner Cannons. But they're not academy linked. Dersma's not academy linked to Hawthorn. That's the player I like the look of, by the way, Willem Dersma. He looks the most hyped of the family. Liam Heatherton is at GWS. He's a Victorian, I believe. Noah Hibbins-Hargraves is a promising midfielder who's with Melbourne. Archie Ludderwyke looks fantastic. He had a really strong curtain raiser. He's at the Saints. Sydney have Lachlan Carmichael and Noah Chamberlain. And while that's happening, you probably have clubs also giving training jumpers to academy or father-son linked players too. But yeah, that's the AFL Academy news summed up for the week. Just gives us a good little look at potential draft targets. We got two very high picks to use, so we may as well be looking at our options early. That goes for both Rosa and us fans. Super quick video today. Might have a longer one coming out soon. Also maybe a cheeky ladder prediction. That's all. Cheers for watching. Like, subscribe, and go Bombers.